I've never seen such a smart black boy. He excitedly showed his invention to his father. He took out the battery from the radio, yet the radio was still able to produce sound, which filled his father's weathered eyes with surprise. The 6 or 7-year-old boy explained that it was wind-driven fan blades that generated electricity. If larger fan blades were used, they could drive a water pump to draw water from underground to irrigate the land, thus solving the long-standing drought problem. However, the prerequisite was to dismantle his father's beloved bicycle to use as parts for the wind turbine. Upon hearing this, the father was instantly displeased, as a bicycle for a man is not just a simple means of transportation. It's also a man's soulmate. How could it be taken apart so recklessly? The father scolded his son's idea as fanciful, questioning how a little kid like him could solve the drought problem that had been difficult for generations to tackle. The boy retorted that he had been to school, implying that his uneducated father didn't understand anything. This remark instantly ignited the father's anger.
So come on. What's in the can?
The boy's tears welled up in his eyes. Could it be that for the rest of his life, he would truly be trapped in this hopeless field? Despite his unwillingness, he was powerless to resist his father's demands, starting to swing the hoe in the field before dawn. However, William's thirst for knowledge burned like a raging fire, and in between work, he couldn't help but pick up the radio, secretly continuing to study electronic principles. But if he wasn't careful, the sound from the radio would wake his sleeping father. This time, his father didn't scold William, but he did confiscate his radio, then went alone to the fields, hoping to hear an accurate weather forecast from the radio. This was because recently, the weather here seemed to be under a spell, with torrential rains at times and scorching sun at others. Despite his father's hard work in sowing the crops, the harvest was far less than in previous years. The family's savings were dwindling. Yet even so, his father gritted his teeth and managed to scrape together the initial tuition fees for William's schooling. He understood in his heart that knowledge could provide his child with more choices for the future. With his father's expectations, William, dressed in a brand new school uniform, walked through the tree-lined path with his friends, chatting and laughing, to the only school in town, eager to dive into the ocean of knowledge. But just halfway through the semester, the science teacher reminded William to pay the remaining tuition fees as soon as possible. Otherwise, he would be forced to drop out. Although William said he would pay, he knew in his heart that the family's strained financial situation made it difficult to support his pursuit of dreams and distant horizons. He could only cherish every moment, filling his mind with as much knowledge as possible. But when night fell, the dim light struggled to illuminate the words on his textbooks. He wanted to stay up late reading, but his mother helplessly told him that they could no longer afford to light the kerosene lamp. William felt a bit disappointed, but he firmly believed that as long as there was light in his heart, he would not fear the darkness. The next day after school, he dragged his friend to the village's garbage dump, intending to find some parts that could be used for lighting among the discarded items. However, after searching for a long time, they couldn't find anything useful and had to return home with regret. As they passed by the village committee, they happened to overhear the adults having a meeting. It turned out that a tobacco